All right, everybody, it's Miss Ava Hart. I'm back for the second video. You're going to see me doing this a lot because I'm at home. And I'm really big on, let me just explain this. I'm black, I'm black, I'm black. That Blackity Black Black song they made, they was thinking about me. Because I am so black. Um, Everything that I teach, I don't care what we're teaching, I'm going to always relate it to the black experience because I think it's important that you all know that. I think that when I came back to DPSCD in 2016, I noticed that a lot of students just didn't know their history. And you don't even understand how powerful you are and how, if it wasn't because of you, we wouldn't have anything in this world. And if it wasn't because of people that look like you, nothing would exist in this world without black people. And so it is my obligation, because I really believe that this is one of the reasons why I was created. It is my obligation to remind people how powerful black people are. I don't care if you Asian, Hispanic, you white, black. One of the reasons why I exist is to remind people how powerful black people are. And I'm going to always remind you how powerful you are. So, now that I'm at home, I'm more in my element. So you'll like now I got the candles going, the incense. I'm very spiritual. It has nothing to do with religion. I could care less what your religion is, but I know I'm very connected to a higher power, and I'm very connected to my ancestors. So I always do things to let them know that it's because of you I'm here. So I'm always like spraying, clearing the energy. Like I'm always spraying like sprays that clear the energy and clear the air. I'm always having incense going, so you'll be seeing smoke sometimes in the video. It's coming from the incense because I have to keep that. That's why I'm so thankful to do this from home, because I can do this from home and I don't have to worry about, oh, what's that burning? What's that smell? And oh, I got allergies. And oh, that stink. And oh, I don't have to hear all of that. And I can really give honor to who I am and to who is over my life and protecting me. Like I can do that in my home. And I don't have to hear all the backlash of, oh my God, it smell and that stink and who burning that and oh my God, she always spraying stuff. Like I don't have to hear all that. Okay, so this one is about the syllabus. Now, got my phone because I didn't have every lesson, because I believe in changing your mind. If your mind changes how you see yourself, everything else around you changes. So let me find it out. I'm gonna have it printed out so I don't have to refer to my phone. But every time I get on here and I record a lesson, I am going to, now whether you do it or not, maybe you'll embrace this. I don't know. But I am going to read a poem by County Cullen. And there are videos with young kids repeating this poem. And it's called Hey Black Child. And maybe for some of you're gonna need this. But every time you hear this poem, it's gonna do something to your mind, and it's gonna change the way you see yourself. So I'm going to read it. Hey Black Child. So let me start now. This is the best time to start is now. Because this video is for the syllabus. I'm gonna go over the syllabus. So every time I get on here, before I teach the lesson, I'm reading the poem, Hey Black Child. Because I need to change your mindset so you know who you are. So, hey, Black Child, do you know who you are? Who you really are? Do you know you can be what you want to be if you try to be what you can be? Hey, Black Child, do you know where you are going where you really going? Do you know you can learn what you want to learn if you try to learn what you can learn? Hey, black child, do you know you are strong? I mean, really strong. Do you know you can do what you want to do if you try to do what you can do? Hey, black child, be what you can be. Learn what you must learn. Do what you can do. And tomorrow, your nation will be what you want it to be. All right, so this is the syllabus. All right, you'll get a copy of this. By the time you log in on Monday, or if you log in, well, yeah, by the time you log in on Monday, a copy of this syllabus will be in your folder on Teams. Everybody will have a copy of this on Teams in your folder under syllabus. It's going to be under your class notebook. I'm going to do a video to show you what the class notebook looks like in the different tabs that I've set up in my class. Under your class notebook, and one of the tabs is labeled syllabus, and this will be in there. So I'm gonna go through the syllabus. Yes, I'm gonna read it. I really don't really do that, but yeah, I'm gonna read it. I'm gonna read it because I understand there are I deal with different type of learners. So I don't know until I start assessing you where you are at as far as your reading level and all of that. So some of you won't need to listen to me read the text, and some of you really do need that. So I have to cater to all types of learners. That's what I do, because it's so many different type of learners that are going to be in front of me, or in my classroom this year, whether it's virtually or face to face. All right, so the first page is just an introduction to me, and I have a picture of myself. And I'm a whole black woman, so I'm gonna be changing my hair a lot. That's how black women we do. So I have my hair different all here, than now. But hey, it'll be different maybe in the next video. Who knows? But that's what I do. All right, so at the age of 11, I developed lessons and a grade book for my stuffed animals and dolls, and taught my younger brother, Andrew, how to read, while kids my age were outside playing two square and waiting for the ice cream truck. Teaching is not something I do, it is who I am. So like I said, I was coming out the womb teaching. Like, that's what literally while kids was out my age were outside playing in the summertime, I was actually developed lesson plans and grade books for my stuffed animals and dolls. That's what I was doing. That part. I had a whole little classroom in my bedroom. So this is not something that I'm just like I'm getting a paycheck for. This is what I do. Outside of here, this is what I do. I am teaching. Okay, and I take it very seriously. All right. I prepare students to enter the workforce. I prepare students to enter the workforce, entrepreneurship, and or college. I am not the type of teacher who says go to college, go to college, go to college. College ain't for everybody. And I would rather for you to find that out now than to go to college and get yourself in all kind of student loan debt and realize that it's not for you. So I make sure that when I'm teaching, I cater to all, whether you want to be an entrepreneur, own your own business, whether you want to just go to work, that's fine too, or whether you want to go to college. I teach in a way that I cater to whatever your choice may be. But I will tell you this. Whatever you choose in life, you are going to need some type of education beyond high school. That part I always make clear. I don't care if you want to run your own business. You're going to need some type of education beyond high school to help you be that fabulous entrepreneur. Okay. I integrate Common Core standards with common sense, down to earth, real life scenarios with every lesson I teach. If you have not figured that out after watching my introduction video, like this girl is just straight up like, if you want to call it hood, ghetto, I don't care what you label it, because I'm so confident in who I am. I transcend labels. Like, you can label me all day, and just when you thought you had me figured out, I'm a change the next day. So you can label me if that helps you conceptualize who I am. Do what you must do, but I'm here to tell you it'll change tomorrow. But if you have not figured out that I am very down to earth when I teach. Like literally, you're seeing, if your parent is watching this and they are more than welcome to watch this, this is how I will be in the classroom. Like it doesn't change. Like I'm not putting on the front. Like this is how it will be. All right. So I integrate Common Core standards with common sense, down to earth, real life scenarios with every lesson I teach. My philosophy: an individual is not truly educated if they cannot apply what they have learned into every aspect of their life. If you enter my classroom in a state of chaos, you will leave with a sense of purpose. Excuses are not accepted here, but dedication and commitment are. Welcome. So, and I signed it, Deandra Averhart, professional instructor, author, consultant. All right, so let's get into this syllabus. All right, so this is English 9. Now, I only did this syllabus until the first semester, which ends January 31st, because, the world is constantly changing. So, we may be doing virtual now, and then come January, the world may, go back to, if you want to call it normal. I don't call it normal, but if you want to call it normal, we could go back to how it was, but we'll never go back to really how it was, really, will we? But we'll go back to going back into the building. So this syllabus is only until January 31st, 2021, until the end of the first semester. And then after that, I have to go back and see if I need to make adjustments to it. All right, so this is English 9. Now on here, you have my name. I have virtual office hours. So on Wednesdays from 8 a.m. till 9:10 a.m., you can come into my virtual office hours. You can let me know in chat and say, hey, Miss Abrahart, I need to talk to you. I need some questions answered. And I say, okay, well, Wednesday, get on Teams and we'll meet and we'll talk. So I'm available every Wednesday from 8 a.m. to 9:10 a.m. Now I know like you might have a class or whatever, but because we are virtual, you might have some flexibility. You may be able to just check in with a class that you have that hour and then come and meet with me during my virtual office hours. So yeah, because we're virtual, there's a lot of flexibility. The teacher may allow you to do that. After you check in for attendance, the teacher may allow you to come over and talk to me. But you have to check in with your teacher on that. I will provide a telephone number. I'm going to have to get a Google Voice number so that you'll be able to contact me from the hours of 8 a.m. to 3:20 if you need to call me. I will include that on the syllabus. And my email is my first name, last name at DetroitK12.org. So it's Deandra.Averhart@DetroitK12.org. You are to not, that is only for if you can't reach me by phone. Then you can send an email. But that is not to, you are not using the email to turn in any assignments. I'm going to do a whole separate email about how you submit assignments, but you will not turn in any assignments through email. Email is just in case you need to communicate with me about something, and you can't get me on the phone. And it's, or like if it's after hours or something. All right, so I give you the course information. I'm not going to read that. This is for 0.5 credits. So you're going to get half a credit. If you successfully complete English 9 first semester, you get half a credit. In order to get one full credit, you have to complete semester 1 and semester 2 of English 9. So this semester right here in January, if you receive a 60% or better, then that means you have successfully completed English 9 and you will receive a half a credit. Or English 9 semester 1 and you will receive half a credit, okay? All right, the prerequisite in order to take this course, obviously you had to successfully pass English 8, 8th grade English, okay? Otherwise, you wouldn't be in this class, okay? And I do understand that some people are socially promoted, but we're not going to get into that. Okay, our required text. You should have already been to the school to get your required text. I don't have it with me. But it's called My Perspectives. It's a black and white textbook. You should have received 2 volumes, volume 1 and volume 2. For this semester, we'll be in volume 1. All right, so you should have been to the school already and picked up your textbook. It's called My Perspectives, and you should have received 2 volumes, volume 1 and volume 2. For this semester, we are working out of volume 1. And you also should have received a novel. It's three parts to this novel. It's a graphic novel. It's like a comic book novel, and it's about the life of John Lewis, the congressman who just passed away, and he was a very integral component of the civil rights movement. You should have received 3 parts to that novel. Hopefully, we'll get to it. We're going to get to it in some way, shape, or form. I just haven't figured out in my head how that's going to look, okay? All right. Now, here are your recommended texts. Now, these are texts that I think that every Black person should read. Although this list is not limited to these texts or these books, but these are just some that I think every Black person should read, and I also think that you should be able to read this on a ninth grade, being in ninth grade. So here are the texts: the autobiography of Malcolm X, I Know Why the Caged Bird Sings by Dr. Maya Angelou, Countering the Conspiracy to Destroy Black Boys by Jawanza Kunjufu. You need to read that because there is a conspiracy to destroy Black boys, and it begins with our educational system. Psychoacademic Holocaust, the Special Education and ADHD Wars Against Black Boys by Dr. Umar Johnson. I think every Black person that has a child in public education needs to read that because it will really wake you up to what's going on in education. And if you're not aware, you could be sending your kids to a system that is meant to, or that was created to destroy them. If you're not aware of that, then you would literally fall prey to it. I think every Black person that has school-age children should read Psychoacademic Holocaust, the Special Education and ADHD Wars Against Black Boys by Dr. Umar Johnson, especially if you have a child who receives special education services. If they have a 504 or if they have an IEP, you definitely need to read that book. All right, and No Disrespect by Sister Soldier. Those are books that I think every Black person needs to read at least once in their lifetime. All right, how our course is structured is through Microsoft Teams. I'm not going to read all of that. Everything is fully online. You will submit your assignments through Microsoft Teams. We will have class discussions through Microsoft Teams. I will distribute your assignments through Microsoft Teams. Everything will be done through Microsoft Teams. Microsoft Teams, everything. Everything will be done through Microsoft Teams. Everything. I will take attendance through Microsoft Teams. Everything is done through Microsoft Teams. So make sure you know that platform like you know the back of your hand. Because that's what we're going to be using to engage in virtual learning. All right. I included on here, if you need any technical assistance, the number will be on here, who you need to contact for DPSCD about technical assistance with your computer, or you're having issues logging in or downloading the app. It's a number on here that you can call, or a website that you can visit to help for assistance with your tablet, your technology, your devices, just any app issues, all of that. I put the information on here how you can receive tech support for that. All right. So I'm going to read this. This syllabus, along with course assignments and due dates, are subject to change. I already said that at the beginning. It is the student's responsibility to check Microsoft Teams for corrections or updates to the syllabus. Any changes will be clearly noted in a course announcement, and I'm really good at that. Anytime I change something, I'm going to give you a heads up. I'm not going to blindside you. I'm not here to make your life a living hell. I'm not here to maliciously, intentionally cause you to fail. I am here to deliberately give you all the tools and resources that you need for success. Now, whether you use those tools or resources or not, that's not my problem. Once I give you those tools and resources, it's up to you to use and utilize them. But I'm going to make sure that you have the tools and resources that you need to be successful in this course. So I'm going to always let you know if I have to change something, or if I'm going to give you extra time for an assignment because things happen or whatever. I'm going to always make sure you get a heads up. I'm never going to leave you in the dark. If I know it, I'm going to tell it. Okay. So part 2 is what you're expected to learn in this course. You're expected to, I'll let you read that. What you're expected to learn, the things that you are going to learn in this course. By the time we're done in January 2020, you will know how to write a 5-paragraph essay using proper punctuation and grammar. You're going to know how to read a text closely. You're going to know how to annotate. You're going to know how to use textual evidence. Like all of that stuff you're going to know how to do before January, before or by January 2020. Okay. Now, in order for you to meet these objectives, you're going to have to attend 90% of the online classes. I've been teaching a long time, and those students who show up at least 90% of the time end up passing the class. It gets a little tricky when you start going below that 90%. Then grades start suffering. So if you want to successfully pass this course and meet those learning objectives, you need to show up 90% of the time. You need to participate 90% of the time. Meaning you need to complete the assignments. And you need to complete the assignments with a C or better. A 70% or better. To be able to meet the outcomes that I have listed on the syllabus. Okay? And you need to attend, summarize, and reflect on 90% of the teacher lecture videos. Meaning you got to watch me teach. You got to watch these videos. If you're not watching these videos and me teaching, you're going to have a hard time. Because once you get into the flow, I say by mid-September, you're going to realize like, oh my God, if I just watch the videos of Miss Averhart teaching, then this is a piece of cake. Because it really is a piece of cake. It's a cakewalk, people. It's really that easy. If you sit down and watch these videos of me teaching, your mama will be able to pass the class. And I'm not even trying to be funny. That's how simplistic I make it when I'm teaching. Like your mama could be able to do the work. Anybody in your family watching it will be able to do the work. But you gotta watch the videos. If you don't, I'll know that you didn't watch the videos because you'll start asking questions and I'll be like, I covered that in the video. And my first question will be to you, did you watch the video? Like that's how easy it is, like for real. It's just going to take some time management on your part and you sitting down with no distractions and listening to the videos and taking notes. But I'm here to tell you that if you just watch my videos, you'll be able to pass all of the assignments with no problem. Okay. So I told you that. Okay, how the class is ran. Every week, I'm going to explain in detail the assignments. You can ask me questions. I will be on Microsoft Teams, available in chat to answer any questions. All right, we're going to be looking at the entire time we're together this semester. The unit that we are doing is the Civil Rights Movement. And I'm so happy we're doing that because, like I said, I'm so black. I'm so black. So I really get to really tell you about black people, like our history, how, and I'm not just talking about slavery because I don't start at slavery because our history didn't begin as slavery. Like I'm gonna drop some stuff on you that I didn't even learn in school. I didn't learn until I had to go to college and pay for it. So I'm really glad that we're starting with the Civil Rights Movement as literature because we about to be black up in here, people. I mean, we already black, but we about to be extra black up in here. Okay, so we're going to be looking at the civil rights movement in history and the literature, the poems, the speeches, the stories, the novels that came out of the civil rights movement, and how people use their words to inspire change. That's what we're going to be looking at. How did people like Dr. King, Malcolm X, John Lewis, Dr. Maya Angelou, Shirley Chisholm, oh my God, think of some more people. Some more people. Oh my goodness. All the people that Rosa Parks. Mary McLeod Bethune. She was a little before the civil rights movement, but Medgar Evers, Emmett Till, the Honorable Elijah Muhammad. All of these people were alive and well during the civil rights movement, and they gave speeches and they wrote letters, like Dr. King's letter from a Birmingham jail. They gave speeches, they wrote books, they wrote poems. People like Mickey Giovanni, people like Ralph Ellison, people like James Baldwin. I mean, they wrote letters, they wrote poems, they wrote books, they wrote articles to document their experience during the civil rights movement. And all this literature came out of the civil rights movement, and they used their words to inspire change. And we're going to look at that. How can you use your words to inspire change? Because your words can either change people for the better, or they can change people for the worse. What comes out of your mouth? And you're going to look at people who chose to use their words as a form of protest, as a way to change what they didn't like in the world. And we're going to look at that. All right. So every day when you get on Teams, there's going to be a tab that says roll call. And you're going to click on that, and that's the only way I'm going to know that you're here. If you don't click on that tab, roll call, for attendance, and fill that out, I don't know that you showed up for class. Because every day I'm not going to be showing my face physically on Teams. Some days you're going to be doing independent work. Some days, you know, you may have a group discussion, and you're going to be working in small groups. So the only way I'm going to know that you're here is when you click on that tab in Teams that says roll call, and you fill out the attendance form. But I'll have a video for that showing you what that looks like. There will be a tab that says have a seat, and that's for me or for any administrator that comes in to the to our classroom, so they can know what our standards are for that day, what our objectives are for that day, what our agenda is for that day. You'll be able to see that if you're interested in knowing, okay, what are we doing today, or what's the objectives for the day, or what's the standards for the day, you know. But that's really for me, for me and for administrators. They can click on that when they come into the virtual classroom and to know what we're doing. But you know, that's going to be a tab in Microsoft Teams, but it doesn't pertain to you. Like, you can look at it, but it's really just for me and for any administrator that comes into the classroom. All right. So, and then you're going to have do nows, and do nows will be in your do now folder in your class notebook on Teams. Okay. So those three things will always be. I don't care what is going on in the classroom, how I have to change anything else. Those three things are consistent. You're going to have roll call, it's going to be have a seat, and it's going to be a do now. That's never going to change. I don't care what else changes during that class time, it's never going to change. Never going to change. And I'm in the syllabus folder, as I'm thinking, as I'm talking, I'm going to make sure I put the bell schedule in there, so you know the bell schedule. So in your syllabus folder, you have the syllabus and the bell schedule. So those three things are just constant. Excuse me, they're consistent. You're going to have Do nows, you're going to have to check in for attendance, and it's going to be have a seat, where you're going to see the agenda for the day, the standards, and the objectives for the day. Okay. And I may just do it for a week, because all your assignments are weekly. You will have an entire week from Monday to Friday to do your assignments, because I am considerate with the fact that this is a new experience for a lot of you. And so now you have to learn about time management. I'm also very aware that it's not healthy for any individual to sit in front of a computer all day. It messes with your eyes. It causes headaches. To sit in a chair for 8 hours and not get up and stretch and walk around, it causes blood clots in your legs. It causes cramps in your legs. You have to get up and stretch, and you got to move around. You got to get the circulation moving in your body. There's a lot of potential health risk for sitting in front of a computer for 8 hours straight. So that's why I'm organizing my classroom in a way that, we may not always, it may not always be face to face every single day. That's why I'm organizing my classroom in a way where your assignments are due weekly, because the health effects of sitting in front of a computer, do the research and you'll see that it's not healthy to be in front of a computer screen for 8 hours out the day. So that is why I'm making my assignments in my class weekly. You will have an entire week to do them. An entire week. You are still responsible for checking in every day. I need to take attendance every day. So you still are responsible for checking in for attendance, but you have an entire week to do your assignments. And you still need to check in to make sure to read any announcements that I send to your folder or I put on chat. So at least at the bare minimum, you check in for attendance and you read the announcements. But otherwise, unless I tell you otherwise, you have an entire week to complete your assignments. Okay, so I came up with these catchy slogans for each day of the week, so you know what to expect in my class. So making moves Monday, making moves Monday, making moves Monday. Monday is a jump start for the week. Monday is when you get your assignments for the week. You'll get a new instructional video from me. You get to watch the video. And making moves Monday is literally what it means. You're going to make your moves for the week. You're going to know what the assignments are, and you're going to plan your week. You're going to decide, how am I going to get Miss Aberhart's work done? That's why I call it make it. That's why I'm calling it Making Moves Monday. Because you're going to decide, once you listen to my instructional video and once you get the assignments for the week and once you get the do nows for the week, you're going to decide how you're going to make your moves for the rest of the week for English. All right? Okay? All right. All right, so then we got Takeout Tuesday. Takeout Tuesday. Takeout Tuesday is independent learning. So that means on Tuesday, I'll be at the computer, but you're on your own on Tuesdays. That's your day where during my class, whatever hour you have my class, 4th hour, 5th hour, that means it's all independent. You are to work independently. Now, you could come into the chat and say, oh, Miss Abraham, I watched the video, but I still don't understand X, Y, Z, and I'll help you. But for the most part, on Tuesday, it is independent. That's why it's called Takeout Tuesday. Because you going to be doing your stuff on your own. Because you need some level of independence to see how much you know how to do on your own. I gotta let you learn. You have the wings, and I'm teaching you how to fly, but eventually I got to give you the space for you to practice how to fly, right? So you got to do some independent work where you can build the confidence up in yourself to know, oh, I got this. I can do this. I don't need, to always be asking somebody every 5 minutes how to do this. I could do this. I could do this. That's what by the time we're done with each other, you're going to be like, oh, I got this. All I got to do is watch her video and I'm good. I got this. That's what I want. That's the response I'm looking for. Like, all I gotta do is watch the video. I'm good. I got this. That's what I want. All right. What you say Wednesday? What you say Wednesday is when we have class discussion, and I'll post the question in the chat, and then everybody chimes in. Now on Wednesday, you are expected to come. You are expected to be on Microsoft Teams in English participating. What you say Wednesday? I'm gonna give a question, and I expect you to respond to the question, and I expect you to give feedback to your classmates. If you don't agree with what they say, then you say why you don't agree with them. Or if you like what they say, you say, oh, that's interesting, I can dig that, or that's what's up, like, yeah, I can relate to that. Oh yeah, that's a good point, I never thought of that. And we're going to be respectful. I'm going to go over that. We're going to be respectful with it. Okay, but what you say Wednesdays is when we get on there as a group and we have a class discussion. Okay, tag team Thursday is where you break out in your small groups, and I'll assign a small group assignment with you and with you and your group members, and you all complete it and you turn it in. That's not going to be every week, and I'm going to be very transparent with you. I'm still learning how that feature works in Teams. I want to make sure that I'm like proficient at it. So when I put you in small groups, I've worked out all the kinks on my end. So it's a seamless process for you. So I'll let you know when that starts. But I want to be comfortable with working that feature before I expect you to use that feature. I don't want to just, like I said, I'm not here to set you up for failure. So let me work on how to really use that and really get comfortable with that before we start our small group assignments for Thursdays, tag team Thursday, okay? And then Friday is finish line Friday. Friday is when your work is due. So on Friday, I expect to start seeing all kind of stuff hitting I expect to get all kind of notifications on Friday. Hopefully some of you will finish before Friday, and I'm okay with that. As long as you continue to check Teams to make sure I'm not assigning anything else for that day, I'm okay with you turning things in early. I'm perfectly okay with that. You don't have to wait till Friday to turn it in. But I'm giving you an entire week to get it in. But Friday, that's when I expect you to, I expect to receive all kind of notifications because people are turning stuff in. And there's no late work. And it's mentioned in here because I'm giving you a whole week to do it. Unless you are dying. And if you're dying, I'm not expecting you to do any work because we don't want you to die. We want you to live. So if you having a life or death experience, then we're gonna throw the work out the window, and we're gonna focus on you living, because we can't have you dying. We can't have you dying. No, we can't have that. Because you too young to be having that experience, and we need you to live a very long time because we need you. So unless you're dying, like I said, I shared my story in the introductory video. There's no reason why you can't get this done. I'm giving you an entire week to do it. An entire week, people. So it's just about you managing your time. So finish line Friday is when your assignments are due. All right. Our grading policy is very simple. Very, very, very simple. Please get Power School because your grades will be on Power School. You can download the app. I suggest that you call the school or email the school, a counselor, and they can guide you in the right direction if you don't know how to use Power School on your phone or on your tablet as an app. But you will always have, once you download Power School as an app, you will always have access to your grades in all your classes. And you will always receive a notification when your teacher has upgraded their grade book, and it will tell you whether your grade went up or down. So please download the Power School app. If you don't know how to do that, contact the counselor and they will show you or tell you how to download the Power School app. I am very good at passing back work. Like, I don't hold on to work because I don't like clutter. So I get it back to you as soon as you get it in. I get it back to you. And in here I put in there, expect. What did I say? I think I said 2 to 3 days. Not maybe did I say 3 to 5 days? In 3 to 5 days, whatever assignment I gave you, expect it to be graded. I'm not the type of teacher that hold on to stuff and hold on to stuff, and you don't wait 3, 4 weeks into the semester and you still don't know what your grade is in that class. I am not that person. I don't. I want you to always be aware of where you stand in my class so that you have enough time to either maintain that grade or to bring it up. All right, so the grading policy is really easy. It's the number of points that you earned divided by the total possible points. So I gave an example in the syllabus. Brandon earned 555 points and the total points assigned were 777. So if you divide 555 into 777, it's going to give you a decimal answer. And that's how you get the percentage. You take the first two numbers and you get a decimal percentage. So his grade computes to a 71%, which is a C. That's simple. You can read the syllabus to look at the different categories of evaluation. Read the syllabus for that. Midterm, final exam. You also get to see what percentage do you need to earn in order to get an A, a B, or C. That the grading scale is in the syllabus. Late work policy. Be sure to pay close attention to deadlines. There will be no makeup or late work accepted without a serious and compelling reason and an approval from the instructor. Points you received for graded activities will be posted in PowerSchool. Your instructor, which is me, will update the online grades each time a grading session has been complete, typically 3 to 5 days following the completion of an activity. You will see a visual indication of new grades posted on your notification tab on your phone or other electronic device. All right, I will tell you this about grades. When it's time for me to give grades, say for instance you have an 85%. Technically an 85% is a B, but I round up to the highest grade. So if you receive, say for instance today was the day I have to do my grades for a report card, and I'm doing your grades and you have an 85%. You will, instead of getting the B, because technically that is a B as in boy, you will receive an A. I round up to the next highest grade, but you must be within 5 of the next highest grade for me to round up. So if you got an 81%, you're going to get a B. That's what you earn a B. If you have a 73%, it's a C. The only way you're going to get a B is that it must be a 75%. You have to be within 5 of the next highest grade. All right, so I want to tell you that. Okay, let's talk about netiquette, because now we're on virtual and we're not in the classroom. So there are some guidelines that you must follow when you're in the when you're on virtual. All right. Do not dominate any discussion. Give other students the opportunity to join in the discussion. Do not use offensive language. Come on, people. Keep the profanity where you're allowed to use it. Not when we're having a discussion online. Present ideas appropriately. Be cautious in using internet language. For example, do not capitalize all letters since this suggests shouting. Popular emoticons, all the emojis, they can be helpful, but don't overdo or overuse them. All right, avoid using vernacular and or slang language. This possibly could lead to misinterpretation. Never make fun of someone's ability or inability to read or write. Share tips with other students. Keep an open mind and be willing to express even your minority opinion. Minority opinions have to be respected. What I mean by minority opinions is, say for instance, everybody in the class says, this is something y'all can relate to. Say for instance, everybody in the class says, we hate Donald Trump. We all hate Donald Trump. And you're the only person in the class and say, no, I don't hate Donald Trump. I actually agree with some of the things that Donald Trump says and does. Like, you can't be mad about that because you're the minority opinion. The majority says they hate Donald Trump, and you're the minority because you're the only one that says you mess with him, you rock with him, that's your friend, and you have to respect that. You can't be mad about that. You can't be mad that the majority outrules you. They outnumber you. You have to be okay with that. Because you just have to be respectful with that. And the people, the majority who say that they hate Donald Trump have to respect your opinion as well. They can't be calling you dumb and stupid because you say that you rock with Donald Trump. Like, we have to respect. We may not agree with it. We can respectfully agree to disagree, but just know that everybody's not going to agree with you, and that's okay. That's okay. And you have to be okay with everybody not agreeing with you, and you have to be able to accept it in a respectful way. All right, so that's what I mean by minority opinions. All right, think and edit before you push the send button. Like, really make sure you proofread, you read you reread what you're getting ready to submit in the chat, before you hit the send button. Because once you hit the send button, you can't reverse that. Okay? And in the we're now living in a time of screenshots, and people love to screenshot, and want to have receipts on you. So please be mindful of what you post, and make sure you can live with the consequences and repercussions of what you post. Okay? Okay? All right. Do not hesitate to ask for feedback and use appropriate humor. Using appropriate humor is acceptable. Like, if we all use gifts. We all use gifts, the ones that people falling all out and, like, bro, those gifts. Yes, they're funny. Those memes are funny, but make sure they're appropriate, and that they're not taken out of context. No sexual innuendos and things of that nature. No racially, insensitive material, no material that someone that's offensive to someone's sexual orientation or that part. Like, we're gonna be respectful up in here. You may not agree with people's lifestyle. You may not choose that lifestyle, but we're gonna be respectful up in here. Okay? That's what we gonna do. We're not doing no bullying because that's inappropriate. And bullying just lets me know that you need to go do some healing. You need to go sit with a counselor, with a social worker, and figure out why you think it's appropriate to pick on somebody. Like, that's not appropriate. Not at all. That means that there's some shortcomings in you that you need to work out. So we're not here to agree with what everybody says and how everybody live their life once they turn off the computer. But we're going to respect it up in here. To respect does not mean that you agree. It just means that, this is what you choose to do, and I acknowledge that, and I'm still going to treat you like a human being. That part. Okay. Then I have, for those of you who are visual, there's a chart of etiquette norms on here, like complete all your work, be on time, find a quiet spot. Let me talk about that. Find a quiet spot in your home to work. Like, look, I'm a whole black woman. I come from a whole black family. I know. I know about the culture. I know about how it is when we at home. I know that we have to get used to this virtual world, and sometimes our mics are not on mute. And we might hear mama say some things that mama didn't mean to say because she didn't know that the microphone was on. I know. I'm a black woman. I know. I come from a black mama. I come from a black household. I know. Trust me, I know. I got sisters and brothers who got kids. I know what goes on in a black home. I understand it. However, I must put this out there, that be in a place where it's quiet. Because what people don't know, but you gonna know now because I'm going to tell you, that teachers are mandated reporters. Meaning that even when I'm not teaching, when I'm just out being Deandra, If I see anything that I suspect could be abuse, I have to report it, even if I'm not in the classroom on the clock. I am legally responsible for reporting it, or I will lose my license and never be able to teach again. So please be mindful of that when you are live on camera in your classrooms, whether it's my classroom or someone else's for another class. Be mindful of what's going on in the background. Be mindful of what's going on in the background. I'm trying to give you a heads up, and you're going to read in between the lines here. Be mindful of what you have going on in the background. If you know you don't want people to see certain things, don't even come on camera. You're going to have to talk to your teacher in private and let your teacher know, like, it's not a good idea if I come on camera because I don't think y'all want to see what goes on, or not giving too much information. You could just simply say, I'm not comfortable with coming on camera. Like, that's something that you're going to have to work out between you and your teacher. But you all need to know that teachers are mandated reporters. So in this virtual classroom, we are now seeing inside your home. You're seeing inside my home. And, some behavior can be interpreted. Sometimes as teachers, we have to err on the side of caution. We can see some behavior and they can do the investigation, and that might not even be what it was, but we have to err on the side of caution. So be mindful of that before you turn on your camera, and be mindful of that before you turn on your microphone. Okay? Because really find a quiet space where you're undisturbed and we're not hearing a lot of background noise. And if you just know that that's not possible, then just mute yourself altogether and explain that to your teacher in the chat. Like, yeah, that part. Like, I can't really be, you really can't hear me right now, or something is going, just tell them, like, it's really not a good time for me to be unmuting my microphone or me being on camera, and leave it at that. I really needed to stress that part because I'm a whole Black woman, and I already know. You don't have to explain it to me. Ain't no judgment here. This is a judgment-free zone. I already know how it's going down, and just be mindful of that now that we're virtual. Okay. Bring necessary materials. Charge your computer. Make sure your team's name is your real name. You're not about to be on here talking about, I'm the real one, or 7 Mile Boss Baby, or what, I don't know, whatever names that you might give yourself, whatever nickname that they got for you out in the neighborhood. No. We want your real government name, people. Your government, it must be your government name on Teams. Thank you very much. We're not doing no monikers. We're not doing no nicknames. We no none of that. Okay. All right. All right. And if you decide to show us your beautiful face on the camera, please wear appropriate clothing. Please wear appropriate clothing. Okay. Because I'm gonna wear appropriate clothing. You're not gonna. Please make yourself look presentable. Thank you. All right. If you're not speaking, make sure you mute your microphone. Make sure you get enough sleep and all of that good stuff. All right. Complete assignments. All assignments for this course will be submitted electronically through Microsoft Teams. You're not submitting anything to me through email. Assignments must be submitted by the given deadline, or special permission must be requested from the instructor before the due date. Extensions will not be given beyond the next assignment except under extreme circumstances. I already talked about that. All discussion assignments must be completed by the assignment due date. Because remember, on Wednesdays we do discussion. You must be there on Wednesday to do the discussion, or you don't get credit for it. You must be on Teams on Wednesday when we have discussion, and you must be there present on Teams during your class hour to get credit for the discussion. And while I'm on that, wait, let me finish reading this. All discussion assignments must be completed by the assignment due date and time. Late or missing discussion assignments will affect the student's grade. All right, while I'm on that, if you have me second hour, you have me second hour. You are not coming into the classroom third hour. You are not sending me a message on chat saying, Miss Abraham, what do we do? Because I'm not responding. Because I'm running this like we were really together face to face. If you miss second hour, you're not coming to me if we were in the building and saying, hey, what do we do? I wasn't in here second hour. Now you could probably do that during lunchtime. You could do that, but you're not coming in this fourth hour and you have a class fourth hour and you trying to come to me second hour in chat saying, what do we do? I'm not responding to you. You are to be, if you are scheduled to be in my class second hour, you are in my class second hour. And you're not coming to me fourth hour when you're supposed to be in maybe a math class asking me what we did second hour. You're being ignored. Because it doesn't change because we're going virtual. There's still protocol and procedures and boundaries that you must adhere to. Second hour is when you have me. Second hour is when I expect you to show up. And we will be given, I'm pretty sure they haven't changed this. There will be a common lunch hour for ninth graders. So I will know when it's your lunch hour. So if you come to me during that particular lunch hour, then okay. Then I could say, okay, well, check your check your assignment folder. Excuse me, to see what we did. But really, you really don't, in virtual, you really don't need to come to me in chat and say, what do we do in class? Because everything is provided for you online. You just have to go into that particular class, find the work on the chat or in the particular folder, and there you go. You really don't have to ask the teacher, now that we're doing virtual, well, what did I miss? Because all you got to do is just log into your teams for that particular class and everything is there. So going virtual should cut down on all of that, because that's going to be my response. Well, did you check Teams? Did you check your class notebook? Did you check the chat? Like, I'm going to ask you, did you do all these steps first before you came and asked me? And once you get used to it, you'll know, oh, I don't even have to ask, what do we do? Because it's already here. All right, because virtual is teaching you to be independent and learning how to solve the problem yourself. So if you were absent, then you just got to check your teams. And the beauty of my class is, except if you're absent on a Wednesday and you just miss class discussion, then you're going to have to come with a note or something why you wasn't there. And I can excuse you from that, because there's no making up. For class discussion, how can you make up class discussion? It's class discussion. You need to be there on Wednesday on chat to discuss on class discussion. However, if you provide some type, like if your parents send me an email, or if your parent call me and say, well, my child wasn't here on this day because of such and such reason, I can excuse you from it. You won't get any points, but it's not going to affect your grade. But obviously you're not going to get any points if you weren't there on Wednesday to join in class discussion. So let me make that clear again. For Wednesdays, when it's class discussion and you're not there, you don't get any points for it. You get a 0. Now, if you have a legitimate reason why you weren't there to participate in class discussion and your parents send me an email or they call me, then I can go into Power School and just mark excused. And then it doesn't affect your grade. It doesn't cause your grade to go down. It's just excused because you sent a note. And I'll make a note in Power School, saying, okay, this person sent me a note. That's why they missed this assignment. Or that's why they missed this class discussion. Now, as far as assignments, as of right now, I don't foresee why you would need a note for missed assignments, because you get a whole week to do it. Now, unless obviously you might be sick, because we are in the middle of a pandemic. Now, obviously, if you're sick, okay, that's different. But for the most part, I'm giving you an entire week to complete the assignments so I can avoid the discussion of, well, I wasn't here, so can I make it up? If I give you an entire week to do it, it cuts down, or my goal is that it totally eliminates the need for me to for you to have to bring a note in to make up your assignments, because I've given you an entire week to do it. So that's my intention behind giving you an entire week, because I really want to cut down on the, okay, well, you missed Monday's work, now you got to bring in a note. That's just too much. As we all say, you just doing too much. That's just too much, because now there's more paperwork on my end. Now you got to make up work for what we missed on Monday, and I may have already passed back the work that they did on Monday. Then I got to worry about, are you going to be a person of integrity and actually do the work, or are you going to cheat because I've already passed back the graded work? So to cut all that out, I'm just giving everybody a week to turn in the work. It is my intention that by doing that, I can cut all that out. That's my intention. We're going to see how it works for me. All right. So we talked about complete assignments. If you know that you have an IEP, you need to communicate with me through email. Your parent needs to call me or through email, so I can know that, and make sure that I am accommodating and adhering to your IEP. So that's in the syllabus as well. Only people with IEPs know what I'm talking about. So if you know that you have an IEP, you need to tell me that, or your parent needs to contact me through email or call me as soon as possible so I know that information. Okay? Also, there needs to be, excuse me, a commitment to integrity. Integrity means that how you behave outside of class and in class is the same. We don't see two totally different people. Okay? And that you don't cheat, and that you're not helping other people to cheat, and you're not trying to sabotage other people's work. That's what integrity is. Please read it. Let me read it to you. As a student in this course and at this school, which is Mumford, you are expected to maintain high degrees of professionalism, commitment to active learning, and participation in this class, and also integrity in your behavior in and out of the classroom. The instructor in school has a responsibility to promote academic honesty and integrity, and to develop procedures to deal effectively with instances of academic dishonesty. If you decide to go to college and you cheat, they can drop you from the class, not give you your money back, and they can kick you out the university. That's how serious cheating is on a college level. All right, students are responsible for the honest completion and representation of their work, for the appropriate citation of sources, and for respect of others' academic endeavors. Students who violate these standards must be confronted and must accept the consequences of their actions. Okay? And then it gives you an example of dishonesty when it comes to your classwork. Also, I provided community resources on the syllabus, because I'm a big advocate of mental health in the Black community. Like, and I'm just gonna say it. Like, as adults, if we don't get our mental right, we affect our children, and then our children are all messed up in the head because we not mentally right. Like, it's so funny when I used to hear adults say, don't be going out there telling our business of what's going on in our household. Let me tell y'all something. And I learned this growing up, that I know your business because I know your child. Just like you know Essie Mae Leonard, because that's my mama's name, my biological mother, Essie Mae Leonard, and Wilbert Vincent Boswell, because he changed his name. He's a Moore now. But Wilbert Vincent Boswell, you know all their business. You know how you know all their business? Because you know me. So when people used to say, and then my adopted family, you now know Wilson Averhart and Sylvia Averhart's business, because now you know their daughter, Deandra Averhart. So you have no business. Your business at home, that I used to hear adults say, don't be telling our business when you out here in these streets. The fact that you had a child, your business is going to be broadcasted because your child is a reflection of you. So when they go into a school building, or when they come to me online, or when they're out playing basketball in the streets, or they're on social media, or they have a job, they're telling your business. And they don't even realize they're telling your business because they are a reflection of you. So mental health, I'm an advocate of mental health because all we're doing, if we don't ever get our mind right as adults and we keep having children, then we just keep continuing the cycle of dysfunction. We keep continuing that cycle. So I am an advocate of going to a counselor. While you are in school, for the next 4 years that you are in high school, you are getting free mental health care. You have a social worker at your disposal. You have a school psychologist at your disposal. You have a school counselor at your disposal. It is no reason why you should graduate and still be dysfunctional and still have mental health issues when you have 4 years of free mental health care provided for you by Detroit Public Schools Community District. Because eventually, Black people, we're going to have to get over our pride and get over our ego and stop worrying about people knowing our business and say, you know what? I want to be whole. I want to be healed. I want to be right in my mind. And if that means that somebody got to know my business for me to have that experience in this lifetime, then so be it. Because I'd rather for people to know my business than to walk around all messed up in the head. So while you are a student of Detroit Public Schools Community District, you should be utilizing every mental health care resources that we have for free because you have to pay once you graduate from high school. You're going to have to pay for those services. So you better get all the healing that you can get while you sitting up here as a student in Detroit Public Schools Community District. If you got an anger problem, then you better work through that anger problem while you can. Because you have the resources for free. It's no reason why you should still have an anger problem when you got all these resources available to you. So I'm a big advocate of utilizing the mental health resources. I don't want to hear the excuse of, oh, Johnny used to throw things, because Johnny's dad died. Okay, go to the counselor. Because my mom died too. Essie Mae Leonard Lockett is no longer here. And you know what? I utilize counseling for that experience. And I still go to counseling now for that experience. So I understand if dad died. I understand that. Use the counseling service available. Don't make excuses for Johnny's behavior. Because you have the resources to help Johnny navigate through that experience so Johnny can come out a whole individual and Johnny can make an impact on the world in a positive way. Because either you want Johnny to be a healthy, productive, individual in the world and be able to survive his father's death, or you're going to use your pride and your ego and don't want people in your business, and then Johnny, he's having a hard time processing this experience because dad is gone, and now Johnny is now committing crimes out here. Because Johnny wasn't given the space to navigate the fact that dad's no longer here. Dad has now died. And I don't have a space in order for me to talk about this. So now I go out and commit crimes. And I make other people's life a living hell because everybody want to be hush hush and everybody talk about we don't need people all up in our business. But Johnny is in pain and Johnny is grieving. But you don't want everybody in your business. So now Johnny acts out in other ways. And now we got another Black man in prison. You see the cycle? You see what I'm talking about? We got to stop that. So utilize the resources that we have here. And if you want to talk to somebody Black, say you want to talk to somebody Black. If you feel more comfortable talking to a Black school social worker or a Black school psychologist, then say that. Open your mouth and say that. But utilize the resources while they are here. I love y'all. I really do. That's why I come so hard in the paint. I come so hard in it because we cannot afford. Police are already killing us, people, and we can't afford to not be right up in here because we already got too much to deal with outside of here. We got to be right up in here because they already coming at us at all angles once we walk out our front doors. So let's get our mind right, and let's help our children get their mind right. Their mind right. Let's help them do that. And let's do it together. Let's get the stigma off of sitting down talking to a counselor. Let's do it together. Because our children are worth it. You're worth it. I'm worth it. Our community is worth it. All right, people. I'm done for today. So I recorded this video on Thursday. It's 2:57 p.m. September 3rd. It's about the syllabus. You will have questions to answer. I'm going to go back. I watch myself. I record these videos and I go back and I watch myself and I laugh at myself. I'm like, girl, there you go again saying what you said. So I watch my videos. I'll replay them back and I'm going to develop questions that you can only answer if you watch the video. All right, so I explained the syllabus. I did not read word for word, but this will be in your folder on Teams under syllabus along with the bell schedule, and it is your responsibility to read this, to read it, because like I've been told in life, ignorance of the law is no excuse. Just because you go in front of the judge and say you didn't know that law exists, it does not mean that the judge cannot sentence you to the full extent of the law just because you didn't know. That's not the judge's problem that you didn't know that that law existed, and because you didn't know, you broke it. Ignorance of the law does not excuse you from the consequences that you must pay for breaking that law that you knew nothing about. And I say that because if you don't read this, it does not excuse you from when I implement the consequences of your decision using this syllabus. So you cannot read it, but it does not mean that you're not going to have to pay the consequences for not reading it because it is in writing. And here's a little tidbit for you. If it's not in writing, it doesn't exist. So I put it in writing so it does exist. So if you decide to violate it and you do it unknowingly because you didn't read it, that's not my problem. I provided you a copy of the syllabus in writing. So I suggest you read it. I really suggest that you read it. All right, so I'm done. So remember, there's going to be an assignment. There will be questions for this video to see if you watched the video. And there will be questions for the introductory video. And then after that, we're going to get into the meat of this thing. You're going to take 3 baseline assessments because I need to know what you know and what you don't know. And that way it'll tell me how to start tailoring or designing my lesson plans because I need to know who I'm dealing with. I need to know what level you on, before I move forward. So after this, we're going to do 3 baseline assessments, 3 tests, because I need to know where you are at. What is it that you know and what you don't know? All right, so I am done for today. Hey, I'm done. So look for this in your class notebook on Teams and look for the questions that are associated with this and make sure you turn them in because these will be your first assignments for the year. So I will see you again on my next video. All right, talk to you later.